Freaky Friday. On the block with Jen, it's always freaky on Friday. You guys already know. If it's your first time here, welcome. You're here on a good night. Now, during the week, we have a regular night where we cover lots and lots of juicy topics, trending topics, celebrities, politics. We did artificial intelligence yesterday. It's always a nice variety of topics on here. I always have an amazing panel with varying opinions. We are not an echo chamber. Sometimes we disagree vehemently, but we always come back because we are grown and we are sexy and we can agree to disagree. So welcome if you're here for your first time. I am your favorite devil's advocate, Jen from On the Block with Jen. You can reach me on all social media platforms, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, On the Block with Jen at Gmail. Okay, on the block with Jen at gmail.com. If you have questions, suggestions, what have you, you throw them in there. On the block with Jen at Gmail. Some people have a difficult time remembering it's On the Block with Jen at Gmail, not Jen on the Block. I am not Jen on the Block. I am On the Block with Jen. Okay, so happy to see you guys here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I have a juicy topic for you guys tonight, but I cannot go another further. Okay, with the other half of On the Block with Jen, the always lovely and talented Lily from YB Limited, and I hope you are following Lily. Her handle is right there in the chat. If you can see it, you could click it. You could click subscribe and come on back. We'll be here when you come back. Hola, Lily.
Hola, hola, hola.
I'm loving the look. When I go dark, I appreciate when you come in with the color.
Right. And this is like one of my favorite dresses too. So I'm like, yeah,
nice.
put her on.
Nice. I like her. How you doing, Randy? How are you?
Hey, Randy.
So what you sipping on? I must know. I got my
ginger ale, but I wanted to add some cran to her, but I didn't have any. So tomorrow I will have cran.
Okay, because I got a whole bottle of cran in there, and it's funny because I was going to do a cran apple, but I said I'll keep it simple. I'll just do apple tonight. So
okay, I love apple juice. But you know what's funny though? I don't like apples.
What?
I don't like apples. They're boring. But I love
apples.
I love everything made with apples, which is weird. Isn't that weird?
Okay, so are bananas boring? Are strawberries boring? Or just apples?
Actually, you know what's funny? Thank you. You asked the right question. So tonight, I got my fruits.
Yummy.
Yes. So I got
I'm jealous.
Yes, I got the blueberries. I got the strawberries. I got the kiwi and pineapple. And I know you don't like pineapple, but we got the pineapple. So,
yummy. Yummy. Nice. We have snacks. And I had strawberries in there, but I was like, you know what? Let me just do the apple juice. I love like when we fly, I'm like, I got to get the cran apple on the plane. I'm like, bring me the cran apple can. The can.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, so we are here, Lily. We made it to another Friday.
We're here.
I forgot to tell the good folks, don't forget, if you want to support the show, Cash App On the Block with Jen. Cash App, it is scrolling on the bottom right now, or you can super chat me. So tonight's going to be fun. We can't promise the people 2 hours tonight, but I thought this topic was spicy. We hear it a lot, don't we, Lily? We hear it a lot. Crazy sex is better sex. Having sex with a crazy woman is much more exciting. It's better. And I think it's similar to, even though we get a lot of heat for it, it's similar to when men say, oh, you like the bad boys. You like the bad guys. You like the assholes. I think it's on the same lane. I think it's on the same lane, Lily. When people say,
I think so too. I think so. Because it's got to be that toxicity, that primal energy, that makes it good. It's like junk food. Junk food tastes so good.
It does.
Sugar tastes so good.
It does.
But we know it's not good for you. We can't base a diet, a well-rounded diet on Doritos and Hershey bars.
Right. So, now, okay, let me ask you this, Lily, and this question may be crazy.
Okay.
Right? Now, things that are bad for us, right? Like when you bring up sugar and chocolate and cookies and cakes and pies, right? And
Mm-hmm.
let's face it, we're all going to meet our demise one day, right? Fair to
Right.
say, we're all going to
Right.
meet our demise one day.
Right.
So, how can something that feels so good and tastes so good, like literally be bad for us?
Jen, you want to know what's funny? So all of my vegan health nuts, they always try to, when they see me pull out the things I really like,
Yes.
they're like, "Oh my God, do you know that?" And "Oh my God," and I'm like, "Okay, listen, okay."
Mm-hmm.
I tell you all, I told you before, I'll tell you again. I eat for pleasure and not for nourishment. Okay, let's be really clear about that. And
I'm
I
the
thought
same.
about this, right, Jen? I really seriously thought about the
Mhm.
question that you just asked, and I was like, okay, let's just say if I start eating healthy now, it'd extend my life maybe another 5 years. So instead of living to like 90, I'll be living to 95.
Correct.
I'll stay there those extra 5 years with some good food.
Wait. Let me get this straight. So you will sacrifice 5 years for them cakes and cookies and pies and milkshakes and sugar. Are
I
you
think
saying that? Is that
Well,
is that
I'm
what you're
thinking that
saying?
I'm thinking that that is self-explanatory because then
Okay.
I always say, do people do what they believe? Because
That is true.
I'm like this, right? If I'm gonna live, I'm gonna live.
Mm, that's what
I'm
I was
gonna
talking about.
enjoy life.
Here.
Yeah, I'll drink some ginger ale to that. I'm gonna enjoy life.
We could drink to that. Mhm.
Mhm. Yes,
Hey, Miss
Tony.
Ruth.
Oh, Miss Ruth is in the building.
Hi, Miss Ruth. Hi, Randy. What's up, Tony Price? Good to see you, brother.
Yes.
Um, yes, okay, similarly, right? We think about people that we mate with,
Mm.
right? And we keep hearing that le sexo, okay, with the crazy letters
El
is
Loco.
yes, is better. And I was gonna wing it, and I said, I'm just curious. Let's see what these articles bring up,
What they
right?
talking about?
Ooh, Lily. I was like, oh. And the most exciting thing was checking off the boxes. I was like,
Oh. So are we
okay.
gonna get the check off boxes tonight?
We're checking off boxes tonight.
I like it. Okay. Sign me
Okay.
up.
Okay. So I pulled up some things. And gentlemen, if you're lurking, if you're watching, please throw it in the chat. We'd like to hear, right? Because this is just stuff that we hear, but we are not men having sex with crazy women. So if you were out there and you've had you some crazy sex with a crazy woman and it was better than the other vanilla sex partners you have, but please feel free to throw it in the chat. Why was sex better with the crazy woman? Or if you want to come up on the panel, you are welcome. But we do faces, especially on Fridays. Okay. So I looked up a couple things, Lily, and I was like, let's just see what the people talking about. Okay. And lo and behold, I literally found a plethora of articles regarding why do men think crazy women are better at sex. Okay, so men have been talking about this. Articles have been written. There have been surveys. So this is not just some whim. This is not something we're making up. We are not making this up.
Because I don't want nobody coming riding past the block saying we making stuff up.
Right. No, that is not what we're doing. Randy, interesting. Randy says crazy attracts crazy. Not
I
so
don't think
much.
that's true.
Not so much, not according to these articles. These guys were pretty stable and sane. But they
According to
wanted
them.
that, according to them, but they wanted that crazy cooch. That crazy cooch, right? Should open up a titty bar, call it crazy cooch.
I know, right? Don't give me no ideas.
So why do men think crazy women are better at sex? Here's a couple of reasons why, and you guys could yay or nay. Lily, we can either check off a box or not check off a box and be like, that ain't me. So
Okay.
if we just go through a couple things, I thought these were interesting. One of the reasons says she has daddy issues.
Oh, hold up. Okay, let me think about this.
Let's think. Let's take our time with it. We got a little
Hold on,
time.
because
We
I'm
got a
the
little
crazy
time.
lady, I think. So I'm like, hold on. But I don't have daddy issues.
Okay.
So I'm not going to check that box.
Okay. Now, when they're referring to daddy issues, it simply says we're not loved enough by their daddies or at all. Still no box check?
No.
Still no box check. Okay. Let's see if this box. Crazy women will literally, says here, according to these men, will try anything.
Catch me on the right day, on the right night, at the right time, with the right guy. And I'm just saying, check.
So when they elaborate, again, guys, feel free to chime in and correct us if we're wrong, because y'all are the guys out there having sex with the crazy women. You could correct us if we're wrong. Crazy women will literally try anything. Want to hook your nipples up to an electric generator? Get a crazy lady to do it. Want to try a threesome? Get yourself an unstable woman. Want round the clock hand jobs from a woman dressed in a leather cat suit? Mental health clinic. You will find your woman there. This is what they're saying.
I mean, that's great advice. Like, gentlemen, the next time you're in the mood for some crazy cooch, ride on down to the nearest mental health clinic. Okay.
The psych ward.
Yes. Okay. Stand outside of a prison. Wait for the release day. I don't know if they release every day. You can do that. I'm just trying to give ideas because, people are online claiming that they can't find a woman, claiming that they ain't getting none. So we're trying to help out. And I think that's...
Don got his listening tongue on, not even his listening ears. And Israel said, what the fuck? Oh my God, Lily, did you just say you don't know if they release them every day?
Now.
It's like 4 or 5.
Between 4 or 5. And so you may have to have, if you get her from the psych ward, you may have to have her back by 7.
Right. We would like her to be back safe.
Yeah. So just keep that in mind. She might not be able to spend the night. She has to be back by 7. Things to keep in mind.
So I have to, we can yay or nay. You guys can agree or disagree. Crazy women will literally try anything. I have to agree with that. I think that crazy women are more open to trying things versus the vanilla sexers, right?
Right.
I think the vanilla sex ladies would be more hesitant, where crazy women would be like, fuck yeah, let's try it. Right?
But see, a lot of times, crazy sex girl gives you vanilla during the day. Yeah.
Okay.
So don't get it twisted. Don't go looking for just the girl with the, the pink and blue and red and purple hair. Did I just decide Tekashi 6ix9ine?
You did.
She is a crazy lady, though.
She is. Okay, so there's some vanilla thrown in there sometimes, right? Now this one, Lily. Crazy women have higher sex drives.
I believe that. I totally believe that. Crazy men too.
So do. Oh, topic for another day.
It is. Put that down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right there. You just took me back. You just spun my head and took me back to something.
Flashbacks.
Let's stay here today. Speaking of crazy men, did you see there was a resounding circle jerk across the globe because Andrew Tate was freed?
Oh, we must discuss. Quick Andrew Tate break.
Absolutely. And right on time for the Andrew Tate break. Ron Zamarco, how are you, darling?
What? They let out the nigga?
Listen, you actually broke the news to me. I had no idea the Tate brothers were released.
Yeah.
Walking around with his puffed up chest, his anklet.
I'm
It's
like, who
really,
takes this
really
guy
crazy.
seriously? The antics, the melodrama. He was walking around with his shirt off, smoking his cigar like he just did 55 years in
Right.
maximum security. I'm like, calm down, Top G.
Right.
Calm down.
They had you. They had you in PC. You
Right.
weren't in General Pop. You wasn't in Gen Pop. You didn't. Come on, man. Come
I'm
on.
like, Tate is very dramatic, but you know, of course, without fail, the tater tots are ecstatic. The tater
Yes, they
tots,
are.
listen, the resounding circle jerk from here to Romania. So they're very happy their Top G is out. So, you know, I guess back to whatever it is they do with Tate. I guess back to that.
I don't
You
know.
know,
This
hey,
is
look, listen. It really has nothing to do with me. They got their tape now. They got their wide back white woman. You know
oh
what I
yeah, they
mean?
do have
The
her.
cankle dragging white woman that basically called them a nigga. You know what I mean,
Basically.
on screen. But you know, whatever,
Basically.
man.
I don't know what to say.
Don said he's doing a dating site called crazybitchdating.com. I'm sure it'll blow up.
And you know what else too?
I guarantee it'll blow up because all those men that like adventures and adrenaline and jumping out of planes and motorcycle riding, I'm sure they will be like, I need me a crazy bitch to date.
Oh
Where they at?
yes. Oh yes.
I was
You know
heavy
what's
into that when I was younger.
Really?
You know what's disturbing? Like, you
Mhm.
know, I get friend requests from guys. So I'm like you, Jen. I go through their page to see what I'm about to get into.
Yes.
And the amount of men who have like Kevin Samuels posted all like memes and Kevin said,
Yeah.
it's been a lot of that.
Yep. Yep. I've seen I had to unfriend a guy today that was on that type of time. The usual, you know, they're a bunch of little parrots, but the usual you know, oh, if a man, and I was like, oh, you poor baby, and you got a bunch of gray in your beard, that means you're gonna be stupid forever.
Yeah, I was about to say you're old fool. That's the worst kind
Right.
of fool.
I'm like, you're gonna be
Oh.
stupid for like if you know if you didn't have no gray in your beard and you were talking this stupid, there was hope for you. But sir, you are salt and pepper now.
Mhm.
It's over. It's over. He's on there and he said, any man who's left by a woman when he's broke and then gets his chips up and goes back for her is a fool. And I was like, but you do know that's how it's supposed to be, right? Like I'm saying,
I'll tell y'all a story.
you do know.
I'll tell you a story. Me and my partner, we was rapping about this, and you know, me and my boys, we're very realistic when it comes to, you know, dating and women in the game. It is what it is. You know, he
Mhm.
was he had a moment in time. He was on the high road for a minute when he was with his girl. You know what I mean? Very, very beautiful foreign woman. Very beautiful. And you know, he was on a high note, you know, and shit got a little rocky. And he had to, you know, revisit the portfolio. He had to do some things. He had to make some changes.
Mhm.
And he told her that, hey, look, listen, I'm gonna go. We ain't gonna be in Manhattan no more. I'm gonna be
Mhm.
here. I'm gonna have to regroup over here. And she
Mhm.
told him flat
Staten
out.
Island.
She said, "What happened?
Staten Island.
Oh no, worse, Far Rockaway, Queens,
Oh,
where I'm from.
right.
Like I tell people all the time, you don't move to Far Rockaway, you end up in Far Rockaway. Anyway,
Mhm.
you know what I mean? The point is, he told her, like, yeah, you know what I mean, I'm gonna have to head out there and just regroup some shit. And you know, he basically wanted to know what time she was on. And she
Mhm.
basically told him, oh nah, you come holler back at me when you in Manhattan again.
Ooh.
And he said, I respect that. I respect
Right,
that.
because she's
And
keeping
even
it
I
real.
respected it. Like, Because you got this kind of woman, like, look, man, when you got a kind of woman and she exists in a particular space, you got to be able to pay to play, man.
Right.
If you don't have the money to pay, if you don't have the money to pay on your Lamborghini, you get your Lamborghini taken away from you.
Exactly.
You know?
And why do you think even the law, even judges know this shit? The lifestyle in which you're accustomed to. This is a real thing.
That's it. No, it is a real thing. It is an absolute real thing. And look, man, I'm at the space in my life where it's just like the game is the game, man.
Yep.
You know what I mean? If you've been up, if you've been down, there's only two kinds of people in the world who really know people. It's a poor man, damn near homeless, or a homeless man, or a rich man. Because those people see people at their absolute worst on both ends of the fucking scale. Everybody in the middle is just tolerating each other. You know what I mean? Until something else happens. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when you're at the top, you got a bunch of sycophantic motherfuckers trying to get a piece of your power. When you're
and
at
they'll
the
do
complete fucking bottom,
anything.
anything. And when you're at the bottom, you are invisible. You are powerless. You are invisible, and that's just life, man. That's just life. You might have some people who might ride it out with you. There's outliers. There's people who ride it out with you, but 9 times out of 10, if you got a bad broad and you done hit some skids,
the clock is starting.
Right.
No, you're on the clock regardless. The clock, you on the doomsday clock regardless.
Right.
And that's what I told old boy today. I was like, you're washed. You washed up. Like, let it go. Just, I was like, men like that, because I think when we talk about it, like, people think that it's like, oh, it's not a bad thing. It's just that those men, they need to go back home to their mama if they still have their mama, because their mama, if she's a, doting, unconditionally loving woman, she's gonna love her son no matter what. And they want that energy from their girlfriends and their wives, and that's not how it works.
Honestly, it's usually those guys who are used to having that mama that is looking for that from their wife. Usually the guy who had the mother that wasn't the most loving and caring, or wasn't the most hands-on, or was more like my mother. My mother was like, the one thing about her, she never, and I know why, growing up, 42-year-old me understands why, because she lost her mother at such an early age. So she never ever wanted us to have to rely and depend on her. So she pushed for independence as far as I can remember. And so did my dad. So, but the mothers who dote and, coddle, they grow up and they're going to look for that inadvertently.
There's so much truth to that. Sure. So I'm going to go ahead and check that box. Crazy women have higher sex drives. It is very true.
Oh, that is true.
Very true.
That is very true. They also tend to be very violent in bed, which can be very, very enticing, very interesting.
Well, this says it goes without saying that in order to want to do all this crazy good sex, you have to really like sex. That word right there is so important, because I can't tell you, and I'm sure we've all heard, people watching, people in the chat, how many times we've heard women describe sex like it was a chore.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Where they were thinking of, I don't want to mess up my hair. I got to get to work in the morning. Where the crazy women are like, I'm going to be late.
I got some leave, baby. I got some leave. That's what leave.
You know what I'm saying? And hopefully she'll have a man to be like, oh, we about to fuck up your hair, so here's some money, because you're going to have to get your hair done again. Yep. Right? So it's like when women like sex, right, are enthusiastic about sex, it is different than women who see it as a chore. And I think the quote unquote crazy woman is more apt to be like, yeah, I don't give a damn about this hair. I don't give a damn about the time. Let's get it on.
But don't get confused with the lady who doesn't like sex and the lady who doesn't want sex with you.
Ooh.
2 different ladies.
I will sip to that.
I think I will too.
The very peculiar, not peculiar, but a very a crazy thing happened at my job last week, and there's some restructuring going on, and there were some people leaving, and there was this one woman who, she was going through the stresses of our job, which is it is rather stressful, and she decided to just quit, and she didn't have anything else lined up, and she just quit, but she quit because her husband told her to quit.
Right. She had something lined up.
Her husband told her to quit. And that's exactly what it was. And her husband said, "I'll take care of it."
Right.
And she quit. But she was bad. But that chick is bad though. On the flip side of it, the other girl we work with, we'll just say she's not as bad.
She got to ride it out.
She got to ride that one out until a new job shows up. So there's a prime example of how privilege and options, how it can work in your favor, and how, some of the things that they say in these online spaces aren't really true until you're until you're actually in these real life situations and you see a lot of the politics and the things attached to privilege actually play itself out.
Right. Which lets me know that either these people don't get out much or they haven't experienced any of this.
So
Absolutely.
this goes on to say that isn't the case for normal women who presumably have a lower sex drive and simply don't need to fuck the way men do. Therefore, any woman who actually likes fucking a lot must be different in some way, seeing as how she didn't get the message that proper women don't really need a lot of sex and certainly don't need it with a lot of variety or eroticism. She also, the crazy woman, did not get the message that being a slut is bad.
Oh, yeah.
Testosterone levels.
But my testosterone levels are low.
In comparison to.
Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah, you're right.
In comparison to,
okay, yeah, you're right. Back to your point, you're right.
So this is so this is interesting. It says men's sexual preferences are better matched to those women. So that's probably why men seek out and enjoy sex with the quote unquote crazy woman, because they are better matched sexually. Whereas the normal women, the vanilla woman, yeah, we do. So he said a lot of those women watch porn.
Oh.
So, so it makes sense when you think about it, because the quote unquote crazy woman is very enthusiastic about sex. And who else is enthusiastic about sex? Men.
Right.
Right. It's not, they don't see it as a chore because they enjoy it. They enjoy the act as much as men do. Right. They're all in, where again, I say a lot of women, be it tradition, religion, whatever, society or fear, they have this, chip in their brain. It's like, I'm not supposed to be enjoying this like this, so I will not. And I'll just be a good little girl. Right. But we've seen it for centuries, and women are still trying to be that good little girl. And hey, if it works, it works.
If it works, it works. Right. Right.
If it works, it works. I'm just saying that if we're the ones that are better matched with your man, there's just something to think about.
Right.
It's a little thing. It's just a little thing to think about.
Right. If they can't stay out of our damn DMs and leave us the hell alone, it's something to think about.
Look at this one. It says, normal women like sex, but crazy women need it.
Oh, yes. Oh, need it. Oh, yes.
So normal women like sex too, but it says Crazy women need to make me feel good.
Yes, Holly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here for it. Sign me up.
Mm-hmm. So,
I'm here for it. So far, they are on point.
so far they're on point, except for the daddy issues, right?
Yeah, I can't relate to the daddy issues.
Okay. Yeah, I had my daddy too, and he was in the home.
Yeah.
Crazy as fuck, but he was there.
Right. Didn't have a perfect father, but he was there, and love is nothing that I suffered from. A lack of love, I
Right.
Miss
suffered from.
Miss Ruth, you the crazy I need right now, darling. You want to cam up and show me that real quick? I might need some
Okay.
crazy, depending on.
Miss
Hey,
Ruth
look,
is
listen,
like,
ma'am,
Miss Ruth flirting.
I'm working right now.
He say Miss Ruth say it's Freaky Friday, baby. She said it's Freaky Friday. And she said
Might
we
be the
going them
crazy I'm
good
looking
girl
for,
wings.
ma'am. Just asking. Just putting it out
Right.
there.
Throw them good
this
girl
this
wings
is
out the window.
interesting. This is interesting. And I've done it, but it's been to my detriment. It hasn't worked out for me thus far. Thus
Okay.
far, this has not worked out for me. Crazy. This is crazy women talking now who were surveyed, and they're saying why. You know, what I mean, they're the crazy sex women. We love with a reckless abandon. We
Yes.
love with a reckless abandon. We crazy girls love with our whole bare hearts. If we choose to get wed, we are the girls who will marry you for the right reasons. The very idea of being with someone based on the superficial notions of appearances, looks, and financial security is utterly insane to us.
There is a topic somewhere in that. I'll think about that later. But yes, because I was that girl, but with Asian experience taught me how to separate my head from my heart.
Yes, ma'am.
Because
We don't talk about the. Sorry.
Well, I was about to say
Sorry.
when I do it. So yeah.
And it goes on to say, we don't have preconceived perceptions about the gender or race or class of the person we're supposed to fall in love with. We are literally colorblind, and just know that when we feel it, we feel it. We don't associate love with fear or conditions. We are proud to love you, whomever you are, wherever you come from, whatever you look like. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt.
And threw it away, child.
Right.
I mean,
Cut it up and made
we
a
don't
rag
talk-
out of it. It's like clean.
fellas, there's also a dark side to this. I mean, if these women fall in love with you and you double
Please tell
cross
them.
them,
Please tell them.
We will
Tell
cut you.
them. Tell them.
We will cut you.
like yeah,
Tell
you
them.
nah, well, some might cut you. Some might just try to kill you. You know what I mean? You get
Jodi
shot at.
Arias? Jodi
You can
Arias,
get shot
anyone?
at. You. I got a blowtorch pulled out on me, knives. You know, all kinds of things. So yeah, it's great until somebody's mad, until somebody's heartbroken, and
Right.
somebody got to
But
pay,
it's like,
and somebody
but
got to pay.
again, that's why I think men like sex with crazy women better, because there's an adrenaline to it. It's exciting, and you really can get cut. Like it's like for real.
Well,
Like it's
you
a real
know,
threat.
well, I'll admit that part of it was kind of exciting when I was a younger man. Now my knees ain't got that. I ain't got the knees for that.
You ain't
right
got the knees
now.
to sprint. You ain't got the
I
knees
ain't
to.
got the knees to sprint. No, ma'am. I ain't got the knees to climb out of windows like I used to. Like I don't have that anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
I am only physically built for certain things right now in my life
Okay.
at that age. And too much crazy ain't it right now.
See, and that's
Just a
how I
little
feel.
crazy, a little bit.
A little crazy is fine, but not if I catch you doing something I don't want you doing. I'm ducking from Glock shots. Crazy. I'm not there anymore, man. I'm not there anymore.
I've pointed a couple guns. Yeah. Okay.
I'm sure.
We crazy women, we are bold and explorative in the bedroom. Society often deems a girl crazy merely because she openly loves sex. Now, if you could choose between a girl who is afraid to own her sexuality and a girl who wants to have mind-blowing sex with you all of the time, all night, you would choose the latter, right?
What was
That
the
is a
first choice
question.
again?
A girl who is afraid to own her sexuality
Okay.
versus a girl who wants to have mind-blowing sex with you all of the time. You would choose the latter, right? Gentlemen, are we
Well,
choosing the latter?
in my opinion, they'll marry the first girl and cheat with the second girl.
But don't they overlap it to some degree? Because the girl who owns her sexuality usually wants to have mind blowing sex, and in my experience, don't they
But no, hold on.
overlap to
I thought it
some
said
degree?
doesn't own her sexuality. Because I thought, okay,
Does
The
you say
first one,
does or doesn't?
no, the first one, the
Then,
first choice, she won't own her sexuality because of outside
okay,
forces.
excuse me,
Don,
then.
it says,
Then
Don, it
forget it.
says we. It says we are bold and explorative. It says we on the article. The crazy women are talking. It says not owning her sexuality.
Okay,
It
then
says,
apologies.
see, we crazy girls are wildly sexual and our urge to constantly try new exciting things most definitely bleeds into our sex lives. We channel our diehard creativity and unapologetically hot desires into the bedroom. That is true.
I'm
That is
marrying the
true.
latter. I mean, if I got
Wait
to
a
get
minute.
because
sex
you're
Wait.
with
Oh,
somebody,
smart.
pause. Okay.
well,
You just went against every single man rule on the planet. Every man that wants a good mama for his children and stability and a woman who's going to help him flip his money. You just went against all of that. You said that you would put a ring on La Loca. So you would
yes, I
marry
would.
the crazy woman. Explain that, sir. You need to elaborate. You can't leave that there.
Right, because before you
Look,
explain,
listen.
you don't have an issue with you don't have an
If
issue with
look,
being able to
listen.
separate.
This look, absolutely not. First of all, here's the thing.
I'm listening.
If the agreement is that I can't cheat, I cannot be with a sexually repressed person because I'm going to cheat.
Oh,
That's one of the main things. I have to be with a person who's sexually free. I have to be with a person who's willing to get down. And first of all, people have layers, man. Just because a woman is wild and crazy and so on and so forth in a
Mhm.
particular setting, it doesn't mean that
Mhm.
she's incapable of being someone's mother. It doesn't mean that she's incapable of running a business. It doesn't mean that she's
right.
incapable of just being
Yes.
this other woman. Now,
You might have to dodge a
I'm
knife every once in a while.
maybe, what I mean? I'll have security anyway,
Or a
but you know what I mean?
slap in the face, a punch in the mouth. Really
Now I still my
quickly.
reflexes are still good though. My reflexes are still good. I could dodge some shit. You know what I mean?
Thank you so much for this super chat. Beautiful lady, creative mind says, estoy aquí para educational purposes. She says, estoy aquí para educational purposes. We all are, darling. We all are. I learned something new being here all the time.
Right.
Donovan, why you messing with me? He's always trying to get cut early. He said, oh, okay. I thought you were including yourself in that we. I am. You want to fight? Okay. We will take you. Oh, this is interesting. We will take you on magical adventures. Crazy girls universally suffer from a condition commonly referred to in the medical community as wanderlust.
Yes.
A specific attraction that triggers an irrepressible need to constantly travel.
Well,
Lily.
yeah, I'm about to say, you know.
Lily. Thank you for this super chat,
I'm gonna put up
Don.
both hands and both feet on that one. That is me.
Don, seriously, what do you do with that tongue? Like, what do you like?
Come up on a talent show.
He should come up on the talent because I'm imagining, right? Because I'm a crazy girl, so we're always you just can't put a notion in our head and our idea. I look at this tongue and I'm thinking, okay, is he going to insert it? If it is inserted, how's it going to feel? Second, that tongue covers a lot of ground. So if he's licking like that covers a lot of ground. What do you do? Do you sit the tongue also on the cooch area and then you could kind of like cover? It's interesting.
You can probably ride it. It has its own like You
But
know,
it's
it's
interesting.
sentient. It's sentient.
Yeah, it's like, you know, because
Self-aware. It's self-aware.
guys,
It's
right? It's its
self-aware.
own person. It is its own person. Like the tongue needs an Instagram account, okay?
Right.
Because guys with big
Oh my
tongues,
God.
they always like, but I'm like, what are you gonna do with it?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay, I shall continue. But I'm like, every time I see the tongue, is like you can't help but notice it, right? Okay. He said, I can't tell you I'm shy. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, right.
Um, the wanderlust. We can't sit still and pretty in one place for too long, so we are constantly scheming about what gorgeous, exotic location we will travel to next. We are so very different than the girl who is hopelessly trapped in an endless dream of a faraway vacation she will never muster up the funds nor courage to take. Crazy girls make their dreams come into fruition, for we are the doers of this fine planet who will take you on a wild adventure to fantastical places you can't pronounce and didn't even know existed. This is a hell of a pitch for crazy women. I think more of you gentlemen should consider marrying and committing to crazy women. I really do think, although I don't think that the majority of the population is monogamous, I really do think you stand a better chance in a marriage with a crazy girl.
Mm-hmm.
I think you stand a better chance. It's more exciting. The excitement lasts longer than someone who's going to be exciting for the first 3 months and settle into her vanilla.
No, but
But
we
then
discussed.
what I find is
Sorry.
a lot of times the crazy girl is the one that ends up getting bored. Because the guy settles in quicker than the woman most of the time.
They short fucking do.
They really do. They get very complacent very fast. So
Like the sex, the first 3 months is mind blowing, right? It's like, holy fuck, yes. And then in 3 or 4 months, he's in husband mode, and we're sitting there like,
can you be freaky husband?
freaky husband would be nice.
Freaky husband. That's what, you know.
Like I said, I want to be
Well,
a
there's
sex
a
worker
reason
to a
behind
husband.
Right.
There's a reason behind that. There's
Okay,
a
let's
reason
talk
behind
about
that.
it.
Why a lot of guys do that.
Listening.
For a lot of guys, I mean, the chase is over. The conquest has been completed. The conquest is completed. So in their mind, it's like, oh, I got it.
It's not though.
You know what I mean? And this is where the miscommunication happens. I think a lot of guys assume that the goal is to just seek the woman, catch the woman, and once you catch her, that's it. For women, it's a constant turning of the wheels, affirmations, reaffirmations, revisiting, constantly reigniting the fire and so on and so forth. It's a constant turning of a wheel.
So how are we
You know what I mean?
even, Harondin, how are we even? This is why people have to compromise and compromise greatly and let go of religion and tradition, because you are fucking signing a check that your ass will regret. Then you must. It
These
is
aren't the
imperative.
conversations people have.
Right.
It is imperative. It is imperative that you let go of the fucking stupidity you keep regurgitating, because we are already built, okay, not to get along. So because women get blamed a lot, right, for the breakup of the family, because we file for divorce 80% of the time. So it's the women's fault. You keep breaking, but they're breaking it up because you are not, my opinion, holding up your end of the bargain. It's true what you said. Men are built to conquer, to hunt, right? To eat. You eat what you kill. So now you're here, now you have the wife, and you become boring. That's why I still say that's why women are like, is it worth being with you? Because it's worth being with you those first 3 or 4 months. It's very, very much worth it. It is the best thing ever. And then after that, it's like we're craving that thing again.
Yes. I mean,
But you
even
see,
if
the
you
thing
look
is that
at
men. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say with kids, even if you look at kids, right? Naturally with boys and girls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Boys tend to be more content. Like they're just really easy. Like they're, that's why when I wanted kids, I said, I want boys. I can't do girls too much work. Because girls is
Mm-hmm.
like, where we going? Where we doing? Where we going? Where we doing? Where we going? Where we doing?
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, what's next? What's next? What's next? What's after that? What's after that? What's after that? We continue that for the rest of our life. Those
Mm-hmm.
dynamics continue for the rest of our life. And so I see that even with adult males and females, men tend to be really chill, easy, complacent, especially the older they get. But women still have that where we going, what we doing
Mm-hmm.
situation.
Mm-hmm.
I self-awareness is important. For me, I don't know if you women have you noticed this, but for a guy such as myself, especially artists, creative men, um, I'm an adrenaline junkie. I have an addictive personality that I have to watch. You know what I mean? If it's not in check, I'll go down a really dark hole that's self-destructive. However, if it's pointed into the direction of ambition, then I'm constantly pushing, I'm constantly hustling, I'm constantly doing things to keep stimulated and keep, focused. Now, for me, a guy like me, I don't get bored because my mind is always on. You know what I mean? I'm always thinking about what's the next this, what's the next that. A lot of creative
Mm-hmm.
men are like that, but a lot of dudes aren't like that. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? A lot of dudes, they go after a particular something maybe, and once they get it, they're like, I'm good. You
Right.
know what I mean? They'll go get it. They might get the house, might get the wife, the kids, and now they're sitting down just watching fucking football until they die.
It's like
You know what I mean?
it's like the series Sex Life, and you're right, because it's great to date an artist because it is that way, but also very rarely, if ever, can they be with one woman because they're wired
And
that
that's
way.
the other half of it. And that's the other half of it because I can't dedicate my life to just one woman. I just can't do it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's nothing to say, I don't think it's a maturity thing. I think after a while, it's like my brain is like, okay,
No,
I've
I don't
had
think it's a
enough of her.
maturity
I
thing at
don't
all.
either. I don't think it's a
You know,
maturity
thing.
thing either.
I
You
don't
know what I
think it
mean?
I
has
My
anything
brain
used
is
to.
to, but
like,
I don't anymore.
my brain is like, okay, I've had enough of her right now. What's she doing?
Mhm.
And me, concentrating my energy on her makes me miss her. So it's like, okay, let me get away from you for like 5 minutes so I can miss you and want to be
Mhm.
here. Okay.
That's
And
how
you
I'm
just
good.
constantly go through that cycle where it's just like
Mhm.
everyone, once you like put your energy in everyone, you miss the other one. Like I told one woman one time before, like, in order to be with you, I got to be with somebody else. She could not understand that.
Interesting. Thank you so much for this super chat, Creative Mind. I really, really appreciate you. This thing here, Scotty and Larsa Pippen had sex 4 times a day for 21 years after he conquered her. I'm just say 2 things. I don't fucking know these people, but I'll say 2 things. If that's the case, it's because he's an athlete, and men that work out, they
Right,
got blood flowing all the
right,
time. They're very
right.
active. He's running on a court for, how many hours all the fucking time. But I will say, so I think that situation is different. Although, with that said, I don't believe that they were having sex 4 times a day for 21 years straight. I do not. I don't believe that. I'm cynical. Call me cynical. I don't believe that they were having sex 4 times a day, 21 years.
No, no, no.
I don't
It's
believe
I mean,
that.
hard
there's
keeping.
also
It's
many
hard eating 3
positions.
times a day.
Right.
I'm just
I mean,
saying.
For
was he
21
just
days.
beating?
For 21
Right.
days. Much less
Was
Exactly.
21 years.
Was
Right.
he
And
just
yeah.
beating off on her whenever she walked by? He was just beating off on
Right.
her while he was watching the game whenever she walked by.
Like, don't
They
you get?
probably
Nah, you
did
too.
that for 2 months. They probably did that for 2 months, 3 months. You know what I
Right.
mean? But 21 years straight, a whole human being
Right.
on his way to college, and y'all was fucking all the times a day.
Nah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great soundbite for a podcast, but I
Right.
don't think it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I wish you would have came on here and said that shit.
Right, man. Don Levon says one woman or a woman with multiple personalities. This is why I
That was my
loved
main one.
this
That
is
was
why
my
I
main girl.
love this is why I love the series Tommy. Remember the series on Netflix, Tommy Lee and Pamela?
Oh yeah, I still haven't checked it
I
out yet.
it was so like I enjoyed that series so much. Now it's quirky, it's comedy, it's not drama. It shows you like the crazy side of them, all the nutty shit that happened. But I love like I was living vicariously through that couple in that series. It didn't even have to be Pamela and Tommy, but it
Right.
was just like the crazy whirlwind romance. They met, they fucking all the time. They moved in together. They're wealthy. They're on top of the world. They got married a couple hours after meeting on some fucking beach. They had children. Like it was so, and this was their real life. Like these motherfuckers really were that crazy. Got married on the beach in a bikini. Like I'm like, oh my God. I was just living vicariously through the whole series. It's a good time. You guys have to watch that Pamela and Tommy Lee, not the serious one, not the documentary, the doom gloom one,
Yeah.
but the one where it's just and that guy played the fuck out of Tommy Lee. Like I felt like I was watching Tommy Lee. Nuts.
I do gotta watch that because I
But
loved them when they were together.
But they loved each other. Like it was just nuts. And it's funny, like his dick talks to him. You have to see it. It is outrageous. Like his dick like talks to him.
Well, that his dick is sentient too. So
I promise you,
The
his
shit,
dick, the little
yo, the
dickhead talks
shit
to
you be
him.
having, you be like suggested is always some wild shit. Like I'm gonna be sitting there and all of a sudden this nigga's dick is talking to him. I'm like, oh the fuck she got me watching?
No, listen, I was shocked because he was high all the fucking time. So he would have like second thoughts about certain things and his dick would talk to him. The little pee hole would his dick would be talking to him and he'd be talking to his dick like, what do you think I should do?
your dick is not the best one to give you advice. Man,
Right.
can you like that?
Oh, now this David Dillon said Scotty was just not always with her.
I was just about to say, and I feel like she was, but just not always with him.
Well, they
yeah,
did
she
say
did.
we had sex 4 times
They
for
didn't say with
21
who.
years. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
They didn't say with each other.
Don Levon said, yeah, Don. He said that could be us, but you're tripping. Don't play with me, Don. Don't play with me. You better learn how to duck. You want to come mess with me. Don't play with me. Miss Ruth said cocaine is a hell of a drug. Yeah, they were nuts. You have watched it. I'm telling you, I would watch it again. That's how fun and how much of a roller coaster it was. But they loved each other in like this strange freaking way. They were like, I don't know how those two broke up, but I guess it was too much after a while. I don't know.
I think that's what it was.
So let me ask you something. Both of you. You love that fiery, wild, scorched earth, building blown to bits passion, don't you? You love that shit that they write about in lore, the shit that inspired Shakespeare to write half his shit, the shit that inspired so much classical music, that shit, right?
All
that
of
shit,
it. Let's
right?
get naked.
You like all that shit. Like, so in what world do you think that the average human being actually can live up to that? Let's talk about it for a second. If everyone was like us, nothing would get done. Like, nothing would get done. We'd have half the working buildings. Everybody would be completely incompetent at work. You know what I mean? It would just be, there has to be a sect of people who look at sex kind of like, it's something to do. You know what I mean? There has to be, and it has to be a large group of them, because that large group has to go make, go be drones and pawns and so on and so forth. We can't have a slew of people who are hot, heavy, and ready to handcuff a motherfucker. And
wait a minute.
Swinging upside down.
I'm gonna push back a little bit now. I'm gonna push back a little bit because I'm gonna push back a little bit because I think
people can't be like that.
Okay, I think we've all seen Caligula. Okay. Have you seen Caligula?
No, first of all, no, but I understand where you're going with this. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask
Lily,
you a
it's a
question.
very old movie. It's a very old movie. It is fucking wild. It's like Caesar and Rome and those mother. It's like Sodom and Gomorrah. It's wild. Like the sex for a
Rome,
movie that was made
Rome,
back in the
that fell,
70s.
that
Right?
fell,
It was
Rome, that fell.
but why? Because they were fucking around. That's what you're trying to say.
That's
Well,
what
they
we're
were
trying
doing
to
a lot
say.
of shit that didn't lead to the fall of Rome. Now this is the point I'm making.
It's listen for a movie that went down in the 70s, Lily. It is crazy. It
Oh
is.
wow.
Yeah, Caligula, it's up there with like the sex is like raw and it's wild. It's a wild ride.
I mean,
But
even in the
going back to
Bible,
what you said, Haran. Hmm.
even in the Bible, the whole point of Moses coming down with the tablets,
Because they
let's
was
just
being
call it what it is.
freaks.
Yes, they was fucking. Everybody was fucking.
Hmm.
If you read in between the lines of the passages and so on and so forth, everybody was fucking doing wild shit. It says in the Bible
Hmm.
that they were being unclean and they were doing things like, okay, everybody was just fucking. You know what I mean? Because let's be real. We got a whole bunch of people around each other for a long enough period of time. You know what I mean? After a while, somebody gonna say, "Hey, you look kind of good," and hey, it is what it is. So
Okay, creative
most,
mind has seen Caligula. It's
Okay.
it's a wild movie, and it's really dope because it like
let me look this
it's
shit up.
it's
Let me
like
look this shit up.
real bodies. Because back then nobody was enhancing their bodies and shit like that. Um, Very interesting. Don said, "Don't throw the good china plates at me. Throw the ones from Walmart, and don't cut him with the good knives." You got too many rules for someone who wants a crazy girl, Don.
Right.
The crazy part of it is I'll be throwing the good china.
Right. You just gotta let it play out.
That's the crazy part, that I'll be throwing the good china.
Right.
And you'll be like, "I paid $500 for that." And I'm like, "I don't give a fuck."
Oh, wait a minute. Helen Moran was in this shit?
Caligula's wild. It's a wild.
Helen Moran? Yo, young Helen Moran, she was kind of hot.
It's a
She was
wild
kinda
ride.
cool.
Like I saw
I
it too
might watch
young.
that shit. I might watch that shit.
I saw it too young. And I'm telling you, what
A
you watch when
a
you're
very young
young.
one.
Yes. Like, and there's this other movie with Rutger Hauer that I watched when I was very young, and it fucking stuck with me forever. Like the sex scenes in that movie stuck with me from when I was a freaking kid.
Yeah, it's funny. I look back on the movies that my parents used to let us watch, and I'm like, you horrible parents.
It's
Like,
called Flesh and Blood. It's called Flesh and Blood, and it's 1985, and it's starring Rutger Hauer. Rutger Hauer looked like a little something. And the sex scenes in that is like I was so young and impressionable, and I was just like, I want to do that.
Well, you got to look at it like this. Back
I was
when we
like
were
that too.
growing up, there weren't PG and PG-13 movies out like that. They just weren't. You know what I mean? There was a lot of rated R shit our parents took us to. There was a lot of rated R shit our parents had us sitting down there watching. We saw some gory fucking shit, and we saw
Yes,
people
we
do
did.
some
Yes.
wild fucking shit when we was kids. You know what I mean? Little kids, and our parents would just sit there like, "Hey, that look great!" Like, yo, you know what I mean? And like, I remember I was like, what, 8, and I'm sitting there watching RoboCop. You know what I mean?
See,
And you know what I mean? The blade came out of his hand, and he put it in the dude's eye, and I'm just sitting there, just like, I mean, the things that we absorbed when we were younger. Like I bumped into my grandfather's porn stash when I was about 12.
Mhm.
That motherfucker had tapes and tapes and tapes of that shit, and I went through every last one of them.
Me too.
And I went through every
Look
last
at
one of
us
them.
now.
I know.
You know what I mean? So it warps you. It does. Now
It
things
does.
are a little. Actually, I wouldn't say things
for
are
real,
better now,
because
because kids can just type shit up now. Because they just type up half that shit now and
no,
expose
there was
themselves
a
even earlier.
scene. No, yeah, there was a scene in Flesh and Blood when I was like, and I never forgot it to this day. I'm like fucking 49. I'm still thinking about, I need to do that. That shit I saw back in 1985.
Right.
Miss Ruth saw Caligula too now. Don't sleep on Caligula. I'm trying to tell you.
I'm gonna have to check it out.
See, but let me ask you this, Don Juan DeMarco. Don Levon. Could you be with just one woman? Because you seem like you play a lot. You one of them cats. You play a hell of a lot. So and then you got the nerve to say don't throw the good china at you. You need the good china thrown at you, I bet. Creative Minds saw Flesh and Blood too. Yeah, it's you guys have to watch Flesh and Blood. And I'm telling you, like back then the movies were
so much better.
Like you said, Haran, like different level.
Yes.
Different level.
Everything
is just too controlled. Everything is just too controlled now. Like I can't sit down and enjoy anything now because everyone is just so afraid of crossing a particular line that no artistic expressions are actually made, man.
Yep.
Yeah. Marcos Orlando, Gmail them to me on the Block with Jen at Gmail. Send me the list. I'll check it out. Don Levon is saying, yeah, he can. Mm-hmm.
See, and like that's I have a long list of reasons why I can't see me getting married, but one of them is like I know I'm gonna get bored. I know I am.
So at the gate, you're like,
I'm good.
Why would you get bored? Why would you get bored? Why would you get bored?
Because typically, like what I was talking about earlier, typically the men just gets complacent and they're like, okay, I got this wonderful life that I chased and it's here now and that's it. And they kick their feet up and I am still that girl. Now, this is the only thing, the only way I can see it working, but it's still not happening. I'm not getting married, but the only way I can see it working if he just stays out of my way. Let me be me. Mm-hmm. Trust that when I, get up and fly out or whatever, I'm not getting up to fly out. Because when I'm in a relationship and I'm in a monogamous relationship, I'm in it. Like, you don't have to worry about all of that. So, yes, if he could stay out of my way and just let me be me, it could work.
I'm in between where it's like, I would love to get married just for the fluff of it, but I'm afraid that I'll get bored. Like that's a genuine fear that I have. I feel like I will grow bored of him and then I'll be fucking stuck, right? And not stuck in a sense where I can't go nowhere, but stuck. Now comes this divorce and the attorneys and the paperwork and the vitriol and the animosity. And I fear that I'll be stuck with that, but I like the fluff of it. I like the idea of it, but I feel like, I'll get bored and I have that fear, right? Unless he's a dynamic person and I'm a dynamic person, but then those people can't be with one person. No saying so. Don't do it, Jen.
Right. I was just about to say, but those people can be with one person because I don't feel like I'm made for one person. I just don't.
Mm-hmm. Let's just play. Let's play real quick.
Okay.
Lily, if there was, let's say, if the man walked the earth that you could be with, but one person, can you tell me the reasons why? Let's just pretend. Let's say we are women that could be with one guy. How would you piece them together? What things would he have to have in order to keep you happy forever and you don't get bored? Even if it's outlandish, even if it's something that men can't do, what would it entail?
Okay, so before I say this, I don't believe that this man exists to be able to have it all in one person, but we're just playing a game, okay?
Yes, I just play.
Right. So we know that my thing is communication. So it has to be really smart. Definitely has to be funny, okay? So like be able to hold my attention communication wise.
Okay.
Now, the money thing, it all depends on where I'm at financially. Like if I'm just a multi-millionaire, then I'm like, cool, whatever, because it is what it is. It's just money, right? But if I'm not, like, no, dude, you've got to be, we can't both be broke. I'm not going to be in a relationship like pinch and pennies. That's not going to happen. So definitely got to be stable financially, right? But I'm not the girl who's like, it has to be a certain height or nothing like that. Height has never been one of my requirements. We already know looks wise, I like a Picasso, so he doesn't have to be the best looking guy, but I do have to be attracted to his ass. And of course the sex, but the sex has got to be really, really good. So if the communication is good, typically the sex with them is pretty good because we're in tune. And he has to be fun. And that's the problem. I can usually get all of those other things, but he's usually not fun. Or I get the fun guy, but he's not financially stable. Or he might be fun with good sex, because usually that goes hand in hand, right? But he can't be with one woman. So usually that's what happens.
Okay. Well, I could compromise because I have a list. We all have a list, even if it's an imaginary list and no man on the planet walking the planet, can fulfill that list. I could compromise all of that, right? If I can have a man that's loyal and faithful and could just be with one woman. But that guy doesn't exist either. I don't think that people are just naturally monogamous. I think it's a fight. It's a struggle to be monogamous. And I feel like if you're fighting or struggling to be something or convinced you should be that way because of tradition or religion or, children grow up better in a two-parent home. It's always, if you notice, for people to be monogamous, it's always a reason outside of themselves. You notice that? Because it's God, it's religion, it's tradition, is what my family's going to think. It's better for this child to have two parents in the home. It's always something outside of yourself. It's never an innate desire to mate with one human being for the rest of your life. It's always what's conducive to survival and our bills and our children and religion. And God said, it's never innate. Like, I see you, I want just you for the rest of my life. Where are those people? They don't exist.
I know. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. They do, but they're Ed and Ed Jr. That's who he is.
Well, I just want to speak on something.
Lily. So we need. So Lily, our dream men don't have penises.
That's pretty much it. He's not
I quit.
I just want to speak on something real quick.
I quit.
I just want to speak on this something real quick. I personally had to learn how to be financially responsible.
I need real liquor.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was very much and there was a certain time in my life where I was very much the wild and fun guy, like, because I didn't save for fucking money. I'd blow like, this amount of thousands, blah, blah, blah. Like, fuck it, I'll go get 5,000 more, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't fucking matter. Because I'd like to do shit. I like to take girls out. I'm like, yo, this is go, blah, 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 yada, yada, whatever. And I had to learn that if I really want to maintain a life, I had to really be somewhat of the boring guy, I guess we can say, to some degree. I had to be a lot of more financially, reliable. I had to go fix my fucking credit. Like, my shit, there was a time when my shit was like 400. I'm serious. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't give a fuck.
400?
You know what I mean? Like, look, listen, I would like get loans like 5,000, 6,000. I'm like, I'll pay whatever I fucking feel like it. You know what I mean? Like, I was just wild with money. I didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? And there was a time when I had to slow down. I had to be, because after a while, girls were looking at me like, Jesus Christ, you're just too erratic. You know what I mean? You're just too all over the fucking place. So I can
do that with a wealthy man. I don't care if a guy's crazy if he's wealthy and the money's not, and he's not risking money, right? Let's go be crazy.
I was all over the place.
Huh?
That's what I'm saying. I was risking money. Like, I was like blowing like I would like blow $5,000 in a month. Like $6,000 or $7,000 in a month. Like, I was
that would make me nervous. But if you're worth like 50 mil and you're
that's what I was doing. I was making people nervous. I was making women nervous. You know what I mean? And they were like, "Yeah, this is fun, but I don't want to die." You know what I mean? So I had to learn to slow down, and I had to learn, like, okay, I got to do this. I got to pay my fucking taxes. I got to do all this other shit. So there's the other half of this, where you can be that fun guy and the extreme of that, is you going you in a fucking Ferrari with the fucking pedal all the way to the ground, and you're
Let's
like,
go.
fuck it, we gonna stop when we hit a wall, and that's not fun when you hit the wall. So there has to be balance. There has to be
Listen, I
some
was in
degree of
a
balance.
I was in a Lambo a couple years back for the first time, a music video. Nobody I was dating or anything. It was a music video.
Mhm.
And this guy that lives out here, he rents them all the time. He has a hookup at the Lamborghini rental. So I have a picture. There's like 3 Lambos outside. It was a music video. And we rode in them bitches. And I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah, it's
Like
it's an
you
experience.
just it just takes you. I'm like, this is how it feels. These motherfuckers who just like live fast, die young type of shit, and they're in the Lambos, and you're going like, and the way the shit was like
The
coasting, and
power
it's
of
like
it, yeah.
and then the
You're like
noise, and
floating.
I was like, this,
You're like
yes,
floating. You're floating. You're like floating, and everything is just like
but
you're just seeing it
right.
past you. Like,
Right, but then it's like you could, and then his fucking friend was in the other one, and they're zigzagging on it. I was
oh
like,
god.
holy fuck! Like the shit was fucking correct. It was so fucking intense, and I got a picture in it and everything because I didn't want to forget that moment. Put it on my little what do you call it? The board, a board I'm talking about,
Mm-hmm.
like that thing. So I'm like, wow, like people live different.
Yes.
People live different.
Yes.
And
Definitely.
and I liked it though. It was like I was like, we can die. Like we can fucking die. Especially because him and his friend was zigzagging. I was like, we're gonna die, but this is fun.
Yeah, I've been in those positions, but like Haran
It's
said, we're
nuts.
artists, and we have a little cuckoo in us. We got to be
Yeah.
honest.
I mean,
You
I'd
cannot
like
be a
to.
sane artist.
Yeah, I'd like to do it again though. I mean, artists are the best. We are really the best people to date. Sorry,
you
I
ever
gotta
you
pat
ever went
myself
up?
on the back.
You ever went up? You guys ever went to LA? Of course, you've been to LA, right?
Yeah.
I
All the
mean,
time.
there was there's some areas in LA where there's mountains. Like I
Why does one of
remember,
my titties
me.
look bigger than the other?
I have no.
I'll have to
I can't tell you, sweetheart.
come
We got
and examine to what.
exactly.
What? What?
It's Freaky
Let me
Friday,
confirm.
right?
Let me confirm. Like,
I'm like,
you're
what
right.
is
One
it?
is
Go
bigger
be.
than
They
the
should
other.
be the same. Is this one is
You guys
acting
ever
stupid?
zigzagged up a hill? You guys ever zigzagged up a hill
Yeah.
in
Nah.
LA
In
with
San
like no
No.
Francisco.
girders at the side? With no girders at the
Oh
side,
no, I
zigzag.
didn't in Hawaii though. I didn't fucking like
That
it.
shit is amazing. That
I
shit is
didn't fucking
amazing.
like it. This motherfucker was in Hawaii. Like we were in Kona, the Big Island,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Kona, whatever the fuck, and he lived like on all these hills and whatever, and we were in a fucking Escalade, okay? And the way he was hitting those corners down the hill, like I didn't enjoy it. I don't know why. I enjoyed the Lamborghini. I didn't enjoy that mountain shit. And he was just hitting the corners hard. And I'm like, we had this much fucking road on, and we were on a mountain. I'm like, what the? I was fucking pissed. I was not happy about that day. I didn't like it. I'm
Yeah,
like, this is
me and Bestie
stupid.
was on the
Well,
side of a mountain last year, or I don't know, I get my years mixed up, in San Francisco, and it was just like, woof. I got it on video too. If you watch the video, you feel like you're in the car. Like even when I watch the video, I'd be like, woo, I feel like I'm back in the car again.
Yeah. No, I didn't like it.
what Haran is saying, some people are like, for me, I guess either I was born that way or it was just the way I grew up with finances that it's part of it. People are born, some people are going to be born where they're risk takers. Some people are going to be born where they're not, or somebody can be in between. But for me, it was always a sense of I felt in control if I control my finance. That's the one thing I feel like I can control, right?
That's
To a
great.
certain extent. So I know what he's saying. Like, there was a time when I was younger, I wasn't wild at all. I was always a responsible person. I always, wanted my credit to be good. But there was a time where it's a little bit looser. And then you have, to what you're saying, Jen, you have a family, you have kids. And everything changes. So yeah, you become kind of boring because now I'm managing it for more than
You
just
have to.
myself, right?
Right? Yeah.
And so when you say about getting married, if you want that person just for you and you don't want to lose that, then it's probably
Don't have
not a good
kids.
idea to have kids, because there is truth to what you're saying. Like,
Oh,
there is
sizzle,
truth to what you're
sizzle.
saying. Like, and I don't feel bad about it. I mean, I could have done a lot more without kids. I could have done a lot more for myself, but I don't. It's not like I'm poor me, because I choose to sacrifice things that I really wanted. You know, like, as far as like bucket list stuff that maybe I'll never see. Maybe I will, maybe or not, because that's the choice I made when I had kids.
If we we plan to get wealthy up here on this panel, No Saint, we will have you out. We will be flying you out.
You be flued out.
You be flued out. No Saint, we can't do it without you. But I want to say something to what you said. Can we just normalize? First of all, those of us who have children would take a bullet for our child.
Yes,
There is no question. If a doctor came to us and said we could save your kid if we take your heart out of you and put it in it, I would be like, cut me open. Why are we still talking?
Right.
Okay. Without question. But I think it's okay for that to be true and to say, if I ain't have this little motherfucker, ooh, what I would have done.
Yeah. No doubt.
What
I don't think I'd be here. I don't
done.
think I'd be here if it wasn't for my kid.
Okay.
I knew where I was going. I know what I was doing back then. The me back then, when I was faced with the reality that I was having a child, that's when I started thinking like, oh shit.
But
It was kind of like the party's over. The party's over.
But that's everybody. That's everybody, Haran. That's the same thing that happened to me when I found out I was pregnant. I was running the streets. I was from New York to Charlottesville, Virginia. Now you know what I was doing. I'm like, and then I found out I was pregnant. I was like, oh fuck. Like, now I gotta make sure I'm around. I gotta make sure I'm around and not incarcerated or dead.
Right.
Because someone's gonna need a mother. So I quit.
Right.
So, of course we can say our children saved us from whatever it was, but I'm just saying, your life changes so fucking drastically. So drastically.
There was things
it is no longer about
there was things I should have known as an adult that I had no fucking clue about until I had a fucking kid. Like, I'd be like, really? What's that? Wow, there's a law that does that? Oh shit! Like, you know what I mean? Because I was like, let's, you know what I mean? I was like a live for the day kind of, the creative world, man. You know what I mean? You just it becomes addictive.
It does, and you don't give a fuck. You look in the cabinet. You're like, oh, I got 2 top ramen left. Who gives a fuck? Let's party!
Exactly.
Like, it's like,
exactly.
I still live like that.
And you know why? Because creative people we have absolutely no concept of time.
Mm-hmm.
We have no concept of time. We have none. You know what I mean?
I don't never know what day I'm in. Never know what day I'm in. Never fucking know.
Is that what that is? Is that what that is?
We just have no concept of time. We have no fucking concept of time.
I'm always asking somebody what fucking day it is.
Me too.
Think about it. When we're in a creative spin, when we're in that zone, in that space, 6 or 7 hours would go past and we won't even notice it. We're just like, and then you turn around and you look outside and it's a whole fucking day. A whole fucking day went past. You know what I mean? You're like, oh shit, because you have no concept of time as a creative person.
So
you know what I mean? There is no organization.
So I want to ask, saying something. You said that if you want to keep, like, I'll just use the word spice for now. If you want to keep that spice in a marriage and a relationship, you would recommend that you don't have children, because then the two of you stand a better chance to be wild and free with each other and romantic and spontaneous and all of that.
I mean, I do. I agree with that. And I also agree with what you were saying earlier, that even if you don't have, like, we all have a story about religion and stuff like that, and how we haven't gone over that show. We haven't done that show yet.
I know.
What happens. But even when I think that it has an imprint no matter what. I mean, I think growing up in whatever religious belief you have imprints you even when you distance yourself from it's
True.
really hard to get rid of that, right?
True.
And then, okay, so let's just peel that away and say you got rid of that. Then there's societal pressures, and there's no way to get around it. When you have kids, especially, there's no way to get around it, because what you do, if it gets out, where it can get out these days, you know, on the internet, and Miss Kravitz typing on her little blog or whatever, then your kids can be affected by that. And it takes a really strong people to be able to say that that doesn't matter. You know what I mean? In other words, many kids, you know, there's not many kids that can go to school and people are picking on them for something that their parent is or whatever, or parent does, and say, well, that I don't care, that's my mom. And, you know, normally they're embarrassed, right? So, I mean, even societal pressures on these things, it's just the world we live in, you know. And Lily, I'm sure you have something to say, because I'm sure you lived some of that, you know what I mean? Just from seeing your history and things like that. By the way, I want to say that I was really excited that Lily said she wanted her man to look like a Salvador Dali, right?
Yeah.
Picasso.
No, I was hoping it was Salvador Dali.
You know, that's my favorite artist. Salvador Dali is my favorite artist.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
But you know what's funny? I thought I wanted kids so bad because I'm so good with kids, so I confused that with thinking I was supposed to be someone's parent, right? And then a few years back, and of course, you know, I was waiting for my life to level off and, you know, be where I wanted my career and have, you know, savings and investments and all of that. And I got to that place. And then the opportunity to adopt a newborn fell in my lap, right? And I promise you, this is how it happened. I was headed to bed that night. And for the first time in my wanting to have children, right, fantasy, because that's what I found out it was, all of the real things, and I wouldn't say all, but a lot of the real things about being a parent, like, just started hitting me, right? I was seeing PTA meetings and da-da-da, and I was just like, oh, no, this is not what I was thinking. I just want to play dress up.
Right, yeah, no.
Oh, yeah, no. Okay. I'm good. And then, like, yeah, my brother has a son and a daughter back to back. I'm like, boom, that's it. I'm good. I'll do the auntie thing. That's my role in life.
Yeah.
I'm the fun auntie, you know, that you can come tell anything to, blah, 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 have fun with, blah, 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 and send you on home. That's my job. Because my brother's always telling me that. He's like, when he sees me getting up and going, blah, blah, he goes, dang, sometimes I'll be wishing I could do that. You know?
There's not a fucking ounce of glamour to it. There's not a fucking ounce of glamour to it, you know, and hopefully all the work you put in, at the end of the day, they'll love you back, you know, hopefully. Forever, hopefully, until they put you in the ground. But there's no glamour to it. It's not rewarding. It's not, I mean, you feel good when your kids do well in life or in school, because you're like, look, I did a good job. My kid got straight A's, right? But it's like, it's work. That's why I look at young couples. Remember the young couple the guy when we got in that lift, I was like, don't have kids. I was like, you just got married? I was like, don't have kids.
No Saint, I'm glad you put that back up. That's what I wanted to say. No Saint is right about that. And I'm pretty sure you all probably seen this too. The couples who opt out usually have stronger, happier, more fun marriages. Longer marriages as well. Like,
look at Patrick Swayze and his wife. They didn't have children. They went to the end, and they were dancing and cave jumping and skydiving and horseback riding and singing and it's amazing. It's such a shame that Patrick left us early, because I'm like, that right there. That's how you do it.
That's how you do it.
You know, it's kind of dark to say this, but it's also probably a relief that when he was dying that he didn't have kids, because I always would think, God, if I have a heart attack and die, where's my family going to be? You know what I mean? Until I get them grown and
right.
You know, there's that, you know what I mean? So if I didn't have kids and the plane's going down, I wouldn't be worried about it. I would say, okay, well, you know, I'd probably be screaming, but it'd be like, I don't have the kids.
And that's the other thing, as a person who doesn't have children, those are things I don't worry about. Like I literally, because I've thought about those things. Like I've had cancer before, right? So I'm just like, okay, if it ends, it ends. Like a bitch lived a good life. Boom. But it don't work that way when you have children.
No, no. It's yeah. If you don't have children, don't. If you're young and got married, don't. Right? Like just wait till the
And
last
I
one.
don't have to
Just
worry
don't.
about generational wealth. I don't have to worry about coming up with generational wealth. I'm like,
Yeah,
don't come looking for my money. I'm spending this shit before I leave.
That's
it's a
right.
job. It's a job. Changes your whole world.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's hear it for the kids. So going back to the list, crazy girls. We have killer style. Crazy girls are true artists, even if our medium is simply our colorful lives and our visual mastery is always displayed creatively on our bodies. We admire the eclectic styles we keenly observe from our incessant globe trotting and have the creative vision to pair an Indian sari with unexpected mega platforms bought on the streets of Tokyo.
Yes.
We are fierce forces of fashion, nature, as crazy girls are. And number 5, we always have the ticket to fabulous parties. I don't know about that. I skipped those.
I do. I just don't go.
Right.
Yeah, I don't.
We are kind creatures. Lily, we are kind creatures.
We are, but we will cut you. Hold on. Let me make sure this. I'm about to cut this. TT.
There you go. Get a cat, not a kid. Contrary to popular belief, we are kind creatures. The very essence of a crazy girl lies in her natural, soulful kindness. In this cold world, there are thousands of ruthless bullying girls who pose as crazy girls, giving us a bad rep. Recognize them for what they are: evil bitches. Dismiss them and never associate them with us. That's true.
Every girl I
That
ever
is
met like that. Every girl I ever met like that was a sweetheart. Everyone was a sweetheart. Like seriously.
We just have that
That's-
other side to us.
That's very,
You know what I mean?
very
Like,
true.
really genuine. Kind even to a fault. Kind and understanding even to a fault.
Say that.
You know what I mean? I remember telling one particular crazy girl that she needed to learn how to drown people a little bit more, and help them on, you know what I mean, into the water a little bit more.
Mhm.
But yeah, just kind to a fault.
Yeah, I definitely second that. Because I think we're still left with the father issues. Is the only thing we didn't check off, Jen, right?
Yeah, I don't know about the father issues.
Yeah, I can't relate.
Because I had my father, crazy as he was. I know he loved me. I know he loves me. So I'm like, that's one that I don't. But I guess I don't know. I guess that's a different type of crazy girl. The ones with the daddy issues or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that we would. I don't think that most people would check everything on the list.
Right.
Yeah,
But I
we're
didn't go like
90%
running to
crazy.
men. Yeah, I didn't go running to men for like, oh, I need a man to. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
no. Mm-mm.
That was not me. No Saint, have you seen Caligula?
No.
Oh, you didn't see Caligula. Okay. No Saint is married, the only one married here, and he told us not to get married. He told me not to get married. He said, "Don't do it."
Don't do it.
A lot of
Yeah.
people I
Jesus.
know who are married, like, listen, you want to trade in the life that you have for. And what's funny is when I go visit my brother, right? And I'm there like after a couple of days, just kind of observing, which is funny because it reminds me of a scene on Harlem this season.
Mhm.
And the girl, she kind of reminds me of me. She's very free and and doesn't want to commit, So but then she's entertaining the idea of committing and getting into a serious relationship. So she went to one of her couple friends, was like, hey, can I just come stay a couple days with you and just observe, like, just act like I'm not here and do what you normally do, right?
Mhm.
And I was watching it and I'm laughing my ass off because I'm sitting there and I'm just like, this is how I am when I'm at my brother's house. I just be looking, I'm like, so this is what you all do every day? This is your life? Like, this is what y'all do every day?
Yeah.
David, you just got married, David. Are you do you have children? I think David just got married.
Yeah, the expectations from all parties, men and female, are so unrealistic. It's, for the most part, you're doomed to fail. I mean, there are obviously, listen, it's like the universe. You got an Earth with life on it, but the chances that happen a lot are not very much, right? So
Mm-hmm.
there are going to be successful marriages. Sometimes it's circumstantial. Sometimes, I've seen a couple people on your panel that seem to be happy with it and seem to have all the right stuff. But yeah, it's
Like
just really,
I told Lily the other day, catch any one of the motherfuckers on a lonely Vegas weekend at a convention and they will fold like laundry. They will fold like laundry. All right? A
it's
glass or
just,
two.
I just think, and this goes back to what we were talking about a little bit earlier. I just think that the societal pressures, what we're brought up to believe it's going to be, what we think we deserve, a lot of circumstances that will sink that ship.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
and I think we talked about this before. I just think that if you can go a good amount of time and not hate each other, and when I say not hate each other, I mean love each other.
Right.
But
We get it.
not,
We get it.
yeah. That's a good marriage. That's
But
Does
you-
anyone
That's
here believe that familiarity breeds contempt?
yeah, probably.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
it's always funny when the husband or wife dies, how all the stuff that they hated, they kind of like, oh, he was a good man, and they miss it, right? They forget all the stuff they hated. You know what I mean?
All but that I look at my parents, right? And today they are literally their couples goals for a lot of people's, right? They are genuinely in love today.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up with them. And they'll tell you this. This is not me putting their shit out there, because they do a lot of couples talk and they do a lot of, people always invite them to do that, because they're like, if you met them, you could tell that they're genuinely in love. But baby, that's not the couple I grew up with. That is not the couple I grew up with. And looking back at the whole story, yes, it ended up great and happily ever after, but I wouldn't be able to go through that.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no guarantee that you're going to end up in that space.
Right. Some people are built for the long haul. My thing is, I don't know, I'm chasing ultimate freedom, I guess. David Dillon says, I'm happy, but I gave up so much freedom. I'll be all right though, living through y'all on the panel. But I don't know, I'm chasing that ultimate freedom, and I feel like to be coupled up, like there's just a list of shit you got to sacrifice and compromise, and I don't want to.
I don't.
I just don't. It's not even that it's hard, right? Because I could, if I want to dedicate myself to something, I'm a fuck it, this is it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm locked in, but I don't want to.
I would be like David. I would be like, I'm good. Like I'll make it. Like that'll be me.
Right.
I'll be all right, y'all.
And don't get me wrong, if we lived for like 200 years, I'd play them games.
You would.
Right? If we live for 200, I'll play them games. I'll dedicate 30 years of my life to a marriage, then another 30 to single, then you know what I mean? But it's like, if something doesn't take us out, right? Whether it's a disease, an accident, or anything, like none of us are promised tomorrow, duh. But even still, like after 60, 70, if you're not taking care of yourself, it's a fucking countdown.
Yeah.
Because even if people say, well, that you gotta live to 95, motherfucker, by the time you're 70, 80, your knees are fucked up, your back is fucked up, you got a crook in your neck, your teeth are fucked, your vision is fucked up, you can't hear. So it's not even like, oh, but you're gonna live to 95 and you're gonna be, great till 95. No, it's a fucking countdown. If your ass don't work out, oh baby.
Right. And then on top of that, who at 95 is still partnered up? You know what I'm saying? So they're always trying to throw that you're gonna grow old alone. Well, most people do grow old alone.
My grandma
just-
did.
Some luck out. Some do luck out. and
No,
they're-
some luck out, but most of them don't. Is what I'm
It's
saying.
crazy. Like I always bring up Howard Stern, but like his dad passed away this year. He was 99, and his mom's like 97 or 98. I mean,
No, here's the thing.
And Whitney Williams, too.
My grandfather died in his 90s and he was married and his wife was by his side. My grandma, not so much. She had her family by her side.
Both
And
of
my
great-
grandmother was the type, she taught me, échate antes que te echen. She wasn't the type to tolerate and suffer for love.
right.
So she kicked them to some women are good at, I'm going to suffer for this love. I'm going to endure. My mother's that way. She's like, the love has to hurt. It has to,
Yeah.
oh God. Right. And my grandmother, which is crazy because she came a generation before, right? All the way out in Puerto Rico was like, get the fuck on. That's
That
what
was-
you're going to do.
That was my great grandmother, and she lived to 101.
Donovan, you don't know what you asking for, baby.
hey Lily,
Yeah,
Lily,
You don't know what you asking for.
I heard you say something earlier. It made me laugh. You talk about eating. You can eat well and extend, your life a little while, or you can eat what you want. And there was a guy I worked with in Michigan, and he was pretty funny. But we go to a physical every year, and I don't know if it was the nurse or whatever was saying, if you eat vegetables and do this, you can live an extra 5 years. And he straight up told her, not worth it. And
it's not worth it.
She's like, what? He's like,
Not
not worth it. He's like, those
It's
last
not.
5 years, it's not like great years. They're not like great
But
years.
that's the thing, that the last 5 years is like if you're lucky, you're not in a diaper.
That's all of the logic that I'm thinking about. First of all, my great grandmother died last year at 101, and she literally ate everything she wanted.
My
till the
grandmother
day she
too.
died.
No, my
Okay?
grandmother
Look at the
too.
draw, man.
Right.
Look at the draw.
But my grandmother too, like
Yeah,
top
actually,
ramen.
No. Both of my great grandmothers on my dad's side and my
Yes.
mom's side made it to 101, eating everything they
My
wanted to eat.
my grandma ate everything she wanted to
Yeah.
eat. There was no special diet.
No.
She didn't have high blood pressure. She didn't have any of them crazy things. And we were even shocked. We were like, dang, grandma's, physical came back good again. And she ate whatever for 90 something years. Now, all the way at the end, when she was in the hospice, they started talking that tube shit, like a feeding tube in the stomach. And we was like, we not fitting to do that.
No.
We cut my grandmother open to keep her alive, another 6 months? Fuck off.
Yeah, no.
That's what
not,
you're gonna do.
That's not because I believe in the quality of life, right? And for me, food is so important to me. It's so serious for a number of reasons. Like, it is such a pleasure of mine. It's my vice. It's so many things. So for me, and another thing too, I intermediate fast every day. So I eat one meal a day. And that meal has to count, and it has to be fucking like everything. It's a whole experience for me. So for me to trade that in for something that's not good, just because it's healthy, just does not compute with my brain. I know it's toxic to think like that. I'm just being real with you. That's where I'm at.
It's toxic to think that way, but I feel like it's also toxic to constantly being fed what's bad for you. Like, I have a regular diet. I eat. If you looked in my cabinets, you'd think a 16-year-old lives here. I got Apple Jacks and Fruity Pebbles and Chips Ahoy and Oreos, and this is really in my fucking cabinet. That's how I eat the little goldfish crackers and the puddings in the fridge. And I have to eat something sweet after I eat something salty.
Got a
It is a
fat
habit.
nigga's dream in your house, man.
Yes,
a fat
like
nigga's
it's-
dream in your house.
That's me.
Yes,
That's how my
like,
house is.
I'm constantly got to eat and snack.
Me
And then
too.
it's like every day I'm turning the TV on or I'm scrolling Facebook and there's like, this has certain amount of blah, blah, top ramen causes cancer. And if you eat out of a can, the salt the sodium in the can, and you're constantly, and sugar is going to
But
kill
Jen-
you. You have to quit sugar. And I'm still drinking like cans
Right.
of Pepsi. I'm like, stop telling me.
But Jen,
Stop telling me this shit.
you know when people tell me that, you know what I say to them? When they go, "Oh my God, you still eat that?" I go, "Oh my God, you're still breathing this air, this polluted air? Oh my
Well-
God, you're still drinking that polluted water? Oh my
Here-
God."
this is the funny thing about what you're saying, and you're absolutely correct. Like, listen, sure, you can eat better, and it may string your life out a little bit longer. But when people act like in the past they ate better, man, people didn't live as long as we live today. They just didn't live as long. So, it's like, even with all this junk, we're living. I mean, now life expectancy is going down a little, but we're still living way longer than they lived like 100 years ago and 150 years ago. And who knows what they were eating was going to kill them, because they didn't live long enough to figure that out.
And then everything, it's
and everything
Donovan, thank you for the super chat.
Everything causes cancer.
Donovan's messing.
Causes cancer now.
Donovan's messing with my nostalgia. He said, "Listen, I'm on the Santa Monica Pier, getting ready to get bitten by a vampire from the Lost Boys movie. Call me before I go live in this cave."
That's always fun.
I love that movie.
I've
I've watched it 1,000 times. Thank you for the super chat, sir. Back to like everything causes cancer. I had a thought. Oh, it'll come back to me. But it was like about eating and food and all that shit will come back to me.
Because this morning I woke up, the first post I saw was somebody posting about boiling water, and all of our water has.
That's okay. That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that the reason why I hate the information is because they'll put you on something, right? Kale is the new miracle food, and then I hear it doesn't digest and blah blah blah, and then they're like, what was the fucking other thing?
Avocado was another one.
Not oatmeal. You better not be eating. I'm like, what? I've been eating fucking oatmeal since that. Don't eat oatmeal. Oatmeal is bad. I'm like, I give up. I can't.
I give up. I can't do. Yeah,
whoever's behind the study is gonna sway it one way or the other. Depending. Like I heard the other day, listen. I probably could be a good lab. They could probably study me, because I eat a lot of in my drink or whatever, a lot of Splenda, and now they're saying that Splenda or these things might cause heart attacks, because it or more, you're twice as likely to have a heart attack to have it clot up, and I'm thinking to myself, I didn't look it up yet, but I want to see who did the study. Sometimes you'll find out the sugar company did the study.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's just like, and there comes a time where, like, my mom would say stuff like that, like she would say, "Oh, don't do that." I was like, well, Mom, don't you drink alcohol? I mean, it's like, things that, I'm not going to live my life worrying about because they were talking about, remember back in the day, I think it was like Sweet and Low causes cancer in rats, or it's always,
I mean, since like, you can go back like 100 years, right? They always start off with, this is the next best thing. This is, everyone should be doing it. Okay, we can go from cigarettes to Kool-Aid to milk does a body good to sugar to so it's like they're always going to first tell us that we have to have it, only to turn around and tell us that we're going to die from it. I give up. I'm just going to enjoy it. Now what I do is I monitor my body, and that's how I ended up getting rid of milk and dairy, because that, like, and it wasn't nothing to do with my digestive system. Like, it never gave me any stomach issues, but what it would do, it would literally inflame my body, like lupus like symptoms, right? And I ended up in the hospital, and they couldn't figure out what it was, and then I was able to do process of elimination, and I was like, I think it's the dairy. I think because I like cereal before, like, either cereal or ice cream before bed. And so I still do it, but now I do the non-dairy and I'm good. So yeah.
Come to find out that the reason, like anything else, there was a real push for milk, and it had something to do with the farmers and the way we produce milk. That's why, like, stuff
they had too much left over
came out. And it's not really, you're right. They made it like it's good for you, and then it's really not. It's really not good for cow milk.
Yeah, because we had too much milk left over, and they didn't want to throw it out, so they came up with a campaign to be able to get rid of the milk. Yeah.
And then they started making stustuffed crust pizza. Putting the cheese.
I love stuffed crust pizza.
Oh, it's good.
It is.
And
I think the point is that everybody's body doesn't really process food in the same manner. We're not
right
at all.
That's
for
sure.
instance, like I eat 18 eggs a day. You know what I mean? And people are
Jesus.
18 eggs a day.
I know you
People
going through
say
with them
that.
egg prices.
I mean, a carton of eggs for me is like
Rent.
$11. Like a
Yeah,
carton is
that's
like
rent
18
Oh,
money
because
eggs.
you
every
get the
month.
So
big,
yeah,
because you get the big ones. You get
yeah,
the big
yeah.
ones, the
I
ones with
get
a
the
lot.
I get the 18. Yeah, yeah. So I'll get like one carton for a day. For me, it's like 18 eggs. So I'll get that one carton for one day. That's like maybe $11. But anyway,
That's rent
you know what
money.
I mean. I'll eat that. Per day, and I'll probably eat a steak. But it's kind of akin to how your father ate, Jen. Like
Yeah.
in order to maintain, I mean, I know he's probably down in eggs every fucking 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and I also eat like my whey protein. There's like bull heart in there. There's all kinds of shit in there, and stuff
Jeez.
like that. You know what I mean? And yeah, I mean, you eat that because it's to maintain your muscle. It's supposed to you eat like a guy. Like a lot of men don't eat like guys now. But anyway, that's a
I need
completely
to eat
different
like
topic.
a
But
guy.
That's a
no,
good.
you
That's
don't.
a good.
Anyway,
That's a good
you
You
topic.
know,
mean
the
That's a
point.
good
belching and
show,
things like that?
Ron. Eat like a
What's
man. Eat
No, I
like a
mean, like
man,
a lot of dudes don't eat
or act
like
like a
fucking
lady.
men. I mean, they go to brunches and down mimosas and talk out their feelings, and what I mean. Then they go to chats and argue with women. You know what I mean? Well,
Down
it's like, yo, eat
mimosas.
like a guy. You know what I mean? Eat like a guy. Have
I'm
a
putting that
steak.
down. Eat like a
Have a
guy
steak.
or
Have
act like
red
a
meat.
lady.
All that. Not eating red meat shit. I don't know who came up with that shit. You know what I mean? Eat.
That's supposed to, they said red meat, it sits in your intestines or some shit and rots longer than other meat. Is
Yeah,
that the
I'm
reason for that?
sure.
But breakfast was it was fun to find out breakfast was a whole marketing plan. It was a whole gimmick, like the whole like pancakes, eggs, bacon, orange juice. Like that was a marketing
That
campaign.
was a
Now
marketing plan too. Yep.
everyone does it.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone
Yep.
just
And
does
without
it
question.
without question.
Yeah, and the grains, and also marketing, because we produce so much corn in this country. That's why in our shelves we have corn chips, everything's corn
Holy
syrup.
fuck.
It's all pushed.
Yeah.
It's all pushed, because in other
So
countries you don't have
true.
nearly the corn products that we have sitting on our shelves here.
Yep.
Those
And then even
motherfuckers.
down to juice. Juice is horrible for you. Because you're supposed to eat the actual fruit. It's something to do with like when you're chewing it and the enzymes and all of that. And the other thing is we weren't designed to eat fruit like this all the time. It's a seasonal thing. It's not supposed to be available to us at this rate. It's a treat. It's like nature's candy.
Listen. This is what cracks me up when people talk about, this Franken food that we're developing today. Everything you eat is some type of Frankenfood. Apples weren't always sweet. Apples were rare to be sweet. When you got a sweet apple, that's why it's so rewarding. When you bite into it, your brain goes, yes. Apples were bitter for the most part. If you got a sweet when you were lucky.
But that's funny because I like all my fruit sour.
Me too. Real quick. Corn didn't look like corn that we have today. That's all it's all crossbred to be a certain way. All your food, when people say, look, God is wonderful. He made this wonderful banana that fits your hand. No. Banana didn't look like that until we made it that way.
Yeah, it had seeds and everything.
And it had seeds. Now we bred the seeds out of, and that's why we have one type of banana. If a disease hits it, we got to start a new brand, because bananas today weren't the same as bananas in the 60s. We lost that banana. So
do you know the flavor that we associate? Do you know the flavor that we associate with vanilla comes out of a beaver's ass?
Yeah, I heard that. I did hear that.
What?
So,
the flavor that we associate with vanilla, like vanilla ice cream or vanilla anything, it comes out of the ass of a beaver.
Well, I can take back that I've never ate beaver before.
It comes out of whatever they extract out of the ass of a beaver, they take that and they go make what we refer to.
I just want to know who's the first one who tried that.
I mean,
yeah, I don't even want to know how that was discovered.
Oh, damn, that's pretty damn good.
I'm not understanding. So someone saw a beaver shit and then put it in the vanilla, but mixed it with vanilla?
No, that they
well, maybe a beaver
you know what? I don't even know the process. I don't know how they found this out. All I know is that what we call vanilla comes out of the ass of a fucking beaver.
Jen,
That's it. I don't know how they found out. I don't know if
maybe
someone got
someone
bored one
cracked
day. They
a
said,
beaver's ass
"Here's
with
a
their
beaver."
finger
And they
in
just
their
licked his ass and be like, "That tastes amazing." You know what I mean?
No
I don't
Saint,
know.
get out.
Or I'm thinking
No
that
Saint,
maybe
leave us now.
I'm thinking maybe the beaver farted and they were like, "Oh, that's a pleasant smell. Let's investigate."
I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure that it was a white person though. That I can be
I was
99.9%
about to
sure
say,
that a white person discovered.
everybody point at the colonizer.
They nobody black going through all that, baby.
What did you do, No Saint?
Look, I like chocolate.
You're like, I'm not, don't put me in.
I don't even know how they found out how they.
I always say, and that's kind of funny too, is that everybody has the same taste as you. I could never understand for the life of me why people like vanilla ice cream. I'm like, chocolate is so much better. Why do you eat vanilla?
I cannot have cheap vanilla ice cream. I cannot do. I can do
what is
like the
cheap vanilla
Haagen-Dazs.
ice cream, man?
What? The one that our mothers used to buy in that big tub.
Yes.
You know which
shit.
one.
The store-bought
Briar's
shit.
vanilla is not good.
Having a birthday
Briar's
party, you had
vanilla
that
is-
big tub.
That one.
The store-bought
That
shit.
one.
Yeah.
The
The
shit
one
that
from the
Carvel
one.
was throwing out, and your mother wanted to go
one-
get it because Carvel was gonna throw it out. Some shit
Listen,
like that.
the one that they bought for our birthday parties in the house, that big plastic tub, that nasty freaking vanilla ice cream that tasted like foam. Okay.
And then you
I gotta
have
have
to
my
use like a
Haagen-Dazs.
knife. You have to use a knife to
Yes.
get that shit out
But
of
to
it.
me,
I used to
Briar,
hate that ice cream.
to me, Briar's vanilla ice cream tastes bland. Like it tastes like milk.
I don't
It
like
does. It does
Yeah.
taste like milk. I like Haagen-Dazs. That's the
Haagen-Dazs
ice
is
cream I
the
want
best.
now.
Yeah.
Like I do the Pepsi floats.
I got mine, and I got my non-dairy ice cream right in the refrigerator for tonight after the show.
Nice. I do
'Cause
the dulce de leche Pepsi ice cream float. It's
Lily.
heaven.
Lily, I know you've been down here. Next time, if you come down to New Orleans, you got to try Bluebell ice cream.
Oh, I love blueberry.
Okay,
But
you
the
know
thing
about
is, the thing is now I only do non-dairy, so they will have to have a non-dairy.
Okay.
Because
Yeah,
I'm gonna
okay,
tell
I
you
didn't
what's
know you knew
funny.
about it. Yeah.
What's funny about this is since I stopped doing dairy, mind you, like I would do either cereal or ice cream before bed every night, which I still do, but I switched to non-dairy years ago. So I went to the grocery store recently, and they didn't have none of my non-dairy ice cream. So I said, you know what? It won't hurt for me to get one of my oldie but goodies just for one night, right? Promise you, I brought it home and tried to eat it. I couldn't even get it up to my mouth. The smell of the dairy now.
Wow.
Disgusting. I was like, you can smell how it's disgusting. I was like, oh my God. And I thought I was tripping, so I tried again the following night. I can't even get it up to my, yeah, it's disgusting. I can't do it.
No. So guys, I guess we're going to close out this Freaky Friday. We went I don't know how we got to beavers' asses. We were on Crazy Women.
That's freak.
Because we're freaks.
That's some freaky shit.
I don't know how the hell we went from crazy having sex with crazy women to beavers' asses getting molested. What happens here on the block? And this is without liquor and drugs. My goodness.
No, right? We have no excuse.
Can you imagine us getting together and we just have a round of drinks or 2 or 3? Oh my goodness. I am not responsible for what comes out of my
I'm not
mouth
responsible, period.
or what dances I do on the table that night.
Y'all don't want me with alcohol in my system.
I told y'all that I drank so
Here,
much
no Saint.
alcohol. Did I tell y'all that I was with a woman one time before? Like my ex, I drank so much alcohol during our relationship that I forgot the first 2 years of our relationship.
That's probably a good thing.
Oh my goodness.
Although I literally forgot like the first 2 years of our relationship. There's a gap in my memory. Where like 2 years of my life, like I just don't fucking remember like what fucking happened because I was either completely wasted or I was fucking hungover.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah, I like my Haagen-Dazs or the Ghirardelli. Oh my God, have you ever been to the Ghirardelli store and got a freaking sundae?
I still do go to
A
the
what?
Ghirardelli store.
The
Yes.
Ghirardelli
I
store.
don't
There's a
even know what that is.
Ghirardelli store. It's chocolate. It's chocolate, but they have a store and you could get ice cream in there and like sundaes and stuff with bananas and stuff and all the yummy stuff. All the fat girl shit.
No.
Yes.
There's one out here. When we all get together, we got to go to the Ghirardelli store.
Yes.
I have no
I'm
clue what
trans
that is,
fat
but I'll
girl.
go.
I'm
Yeah,
trans
it's like
fat girl. I'm
Godiva.
skinny, but I feel like a fat girl.
Yeah, it's like Godiva chocolate, but it's Ghirardelli. It's like
What the
Godiva,
fuck is
but
that?
it's not as expensive. Godiva is more expensive than Ghirardelli. Godiva's up there.
Yeah.
I had a guy, speaking of, and I'll close with this and I'll shut my mouth. I had a guy send me Godiva chocolate from Florida. And he put the way they packaged it. I'm sure it didn't come from Florida. It probably came from, where I was in New York. But they packaged it with hot ice. And I got my little chocolate stuff with the hot ice, and I opened the thing, and the hot ice was there. And of course, I had to play with the hot ice and put it in the water so I could see the smoke. Anyway, but I thought that was cute that he sent me Godiva with the hot ice thing. So, wasn't that cute? Well, it was
That's
cute.
You talking about like
cute.
dry ice?
Huh?
You talking about dry ice?
Yes, dry ice. What did I say?
Hot ice.
You said
Yeah,
hot
because it
ice.
feels hot if you touch it.
Yeah, it does.
It'll burn you.
It'll burn you.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's what I did. So guys, send your lady some chocolate from somewhere else.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we out of here. So what's the vote? Sex with crazy women? Hear, hear.
Yeah.
I
No
vote
saying that.
crazy cooch is good cooch.
It is. I'm not only
Crazy
the
seasons.
president, I'm also a client.
Right.
Crazy seasons the box. Box needs some seasoning on it. Seasons the pussy. That's a crazy does, man. You throw a little adobo. Just a little adobo on the pussy.
Yes, Ghirardelli in Nevada. We have to go. It's right by the Link Hotel, the Ghirardelli. Oh my God, so yummy. And then there's Brooklyn Bowl across the street. We can go bowling. There's so much to do out here.
I
You
love
guys-
bowling.
Gotta come out. Lily, you coming in April, right? And the April, Glenn wants to do that thing.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and the April.
Hopefully I can
You heard
get
that,
Bessie to
Haran?
come with me. But yes, I'll
Huh?
be there. So
So
hopefully
you
I can
heard
get
that,
Bessie
Haran?
to come.
Glenn wants to do that thing. I have no idea what
We're
that
gonna do
means,
that
but
thing.
Well, Glenn's not doing any of the things with me.
That's true.
I'm about to say
Yeah,
for me.
No, he wants to do an in studio panel discussion. So
That's me fun.
before our July, or before our big trip in July, our big get together in July, end of April, he wants to do an in studio panel thing at the end of April. But then July is like our big shindig where everybody's gonna get drunk and dance on tables and have sex in front of other people on the couch. It's gonna be wild. We're gonna act like we don't have any responsibilities of children. Promise? Everybody
I'm
promise?
just gonna tell people I'm drunk. That helps a little bit.
We need a good week where we pretend we have no responsibilities, and we just have to look out for each other. Make sure no one gets, run over by a car or alcohol
No human
poisoning.
trafficking.
No human trafficking. No, we watch the hookers that come through. Like, we just look out for each other. Let's just have a week where it's like, it's on and popping.
That sounds great.
Right? We'll be like the Hangover. Probably be a tiger in the morning and shit. Who the fuck? Whose monkey is this, Haran? Who is Lily?
Right. A tiger and some tiger bomb.
Trust me, if a tiger show up, Heron got to go in the fucking bathroom and get it. Trust me. Gonna make sure I go in the bathroom and get it. There's a tiger in the bathroom, man.
I'm like, Lily, why does that monkey have my earrings on? What the fuck happened last night?
You know what's really crazy? The Hangover, as much of a classic as that shit is, that shit would never fly now. That shit would never
Oh, because
fucking
all
So
the,
fly,
many
because
man.
all the,
movies would never fly now. They're so PC
Man,
on
yeah.
that man.
everything.
Everybody would
Yeah.
be offended right now. Matter of fact, I'm gonna
Oh
watch
my god.
Hangover shit so I can remember how it used to be.
I know I do that. I literally go back and watch things that I know wouldn't fly today just because I need a little bit of that. Like I just need.
No,
But
July is
but
gonna be on and popping. July is
but
gonna be on and popping.
I sent you that thing about. I see because you were the first person that said this, and now I'm starting to see it happen.
The
People are
loop.
well, no, not the loop, but people are getting sick of the PC stuff. And I want to do a whole topic on this because what's funny is the ones who were part of pushing that, and this is what I was saying at the beginning of it. But like you all are pushing to cancel this person for saying this and this person for saying that. What's going to stop you from being canceled when you have a thought of your own down the road? Now those people are the ones who are crying like, "Oh my God!" Oh, and I'm like, "Well, hold up now. You advocated for a lot of people to get canceled now,
Right. It's like they're creating the monster, and now the monster is running rampant on everybody. You
Exactly.
can't control the monster. You cannot control it. So now people are like, "Oh, wait a minute. No, now it's on you."
Exactly."
And
Well,
there was
it's
a
like
Black
a
Mirror.
marriage.
There was a Black Mirror episode like that.
I didn't get that far, and I need to go back and finish watching Black Mirror because it was a little too real for me. Because it's like, oh, that's just happening now. Oh shit, that's happening now.
What I love Vegas's proximity to Utah. I stayed in St. George, Utah, which is about a couple hours, probably an hour and a half from Vegas, and just driving from St. George to Las Vegas, you go through Arizona. That's beautiful in its own right. I mean, it's like everything you see in the old Western movies, but you can go to like, what is it? What's the national park right there? Mount Mount, is it Zion?
It's not Mount Helen, is it? Or
no, Zion, right? Zion.
Okay, yeah.
Is right there. I mean, Jen, have you done any of that?
No.
You haven't been to Zion National Park. You haven't been to Bryce Canyon. I mean, you're right there.
Yeah, I've been wanting to go.
I just been to Red Rock. I've been to Arizona. I haven't been to where's that in Utah?
It's right there though. It's about an hour and a half drive.
I want to go.
It is.
I would love to do it. I would love to do it. I'm
Arches. I've been to. There's 5 national parks in Utah now. Obviously, some of them are way up north, but I've been to Zion National Park, the Bryce Canyon, which is the one with all it's like the little stalactites that stick straight out. I mean, it is just. I did horseback riding there. This is about a couple of years ago, and then there was it was crazy. You'd be like St. George at this time of the year. I mean, I think it was 2 years ago when you were having that massive heat wave in June where it was oppressive heat. I mean, it was bad, right? Even though it was a dry heat, it was like beaming down on you. And you would go 35, 40 minutes away to the up in elevation to one where their dam was in near St. George, and it would drop down to 60. Or I remember when I was going to Bryce Canyon, which is a couple hours away from there, I remember looking, I said, this can't be right, because in the morning it was like 45 degrees.
Yeah.
But deserts are like that though. Like deserts.
Yeah, that's like out here too.
Yeah.
Right? Crazy Legs is in the motherfucking building. Happy Freaky Friday. He says salute to the panelists. And I just got word that Crazy Legs April 3rd will be on World Star Hip Hop YouTube discussing 50 years of hip hop. So, we got to watch that April 3rd World Star Hip Hop on YouTube. Congratulations, darling. Good to see you. He says salute to us. We say salute to him.
Last year, me and my manager drove from Vegas to LA, and that was a beautiful drive because it looked so completely different from the East Coast. It was not what I was used to seeing.
It is a beautiful drive. Beautiful drive.
Oh,
it really is. Very zen. Very zen. Yeah. All right, guys. So we are out of here. We got good things coming up this summer. So everybody hang tight, okay? You'll be able to wear the glitter thongs this summer out here. And we got you. We got you. It's gonna be all right. Okay. All right, guys. Any parting words? Are we out of here? Now I'm hungry. I need to get some food. Okay, are we doing tomorrow or now? I'm doing errands. What are we doing tomorrow?
I mean,
I
if you're
wouldn't.
doing,
I wouldn't do a sexy Saturday though, because there's some stuff. There's some topics that are really that I wanted to cover. Like there's some other stuff that's going on.
so let's do that then.
All right, so let's see how we all feel tomorrow. We'll come back tomorrow. I gotta fix my titty. I don't know why one of them looks bigger than the other. I don't know what's going on, but I'll figure it out backstage. All right, guys.
All right.
I love you all. Oh wait, I'm not the substitute teacher. That's you, No Saint. That's you, No Saint.
So the lesson of the night is that if you are 99% sure that you want to get married and have kids, go with the 1%. I love you all. Class dismissed. Good night.
Good night, guys. Oh my goodness, the truth on truth. All right, guys, if you're still here for any reason, please, 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 from Mama, hit that like and subscribe. Don't forget you can support the show and help Mama keep the church lights on the Block with Jen Cash App. It is strolling on the bottom. If you want to contact me for any reason, I am on the Block with Jen at Gmail. Topics, suggestions, collaborations on the Block with Jen at Gmail. And don't forget, you can find me on all social media platforms on the Block with Jen as well. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, yada, yada. Have an amazing rest of your Friday night, and we will see you here tomorrow. Bring you something juicy. Let's see what Mama cooks up. All right, guys. Good night. Be good. Thank you so much for holding me down in the chat, and thank you for the super chats. Good night, guys.